180 attempts to illegally cross the Polish border from Belarus. That's yesterday's tally alone. Once again, Polish border guards were pelted with stones by illegal migrants. This hybrid war on our border, supported by the Belarusian regime, has been going on for 4 years, as Polish President Karol Nawrocki described in a letter to European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. He also mentioned the help that Poland and Poles have given to Ukrainians, war refugees who came to our country. Over 1 million of them have stayed in Poland. However, there is no consensus on illegal migrants in Poland. I agree that illegal migration is a problem that Europe must deal with, but the solution is not to forcibly send migrants back to Central and Eastern European countries. The main reason for migration is the difficult security and economic situation in African and Middle Eastern countries, and this is the challenge we should focus on, while protecting our citizens from illegal migration and its consequences. Our common task should be, above all, to seal our borders and fight smugglers. During the election campaign, Karol Nawrocki spoke clearly. I will declare the need for unilateral termination of the Migration Pact. We are at a time when we should not be building 40 integration centres, but rather ensuring the safety of everyone here and of all Poles who want to feel safe. Today, Poland's President Karol Nawrocki wrote to Ursula von der Leyen about this. Dear Madam President, the European Commission is facing important decisions in the near future, so I would like kindly to inform you that Poland will not agree to any actions by the European institutions that would aim to deploy illegal migrants in Poland, and I hope that you will take this fact into account in your actions. The timing of the letter is not accidental. In accordance with European regulations, the European Commission is required to present its plans for the coming year regarding actions towards migrants by October the 15th each year. That is why the President wanted to clearly communicate to the European Commission that Poland should not be included in the plans concerning migrants. The President's letter to Ursula von der Leyen, who is responsible for the migration crisis because she was previously in Angela Merkel's cabinet as an incompetent defence minister, at the very time when Angela Merkel made the disastrous decision for Germany and Europe to invite millions of immigrants from Africa and Asia, and today Ursula von der Leyen is destroying the European Union by promoting the admission of thousands of immigrants, pushing illegal immigrants to Poland, the President's letter on this matter is Poland's raison d'etat. The vast majority of Poles oppose the admission of illegal migrants to Poland. The President's letter is also their voice in the European Union. So this is also a response to make the European Union fully aware that the new Polish President will stand guard over the security of his compatriots and their security in the European Union. The President of the European Commission may still read the letter from the Polish President, as the European Parliament today rejected 2 motions of no confidence in Ursula von der Leyen by a majority vote. She will therefore remain in her position. Also today, Polish President Karol Nawrocki travelled to Estonia, where tomorrow a summit of the presidents of the Areolas group of countries will take place, an informal meeting of several presidents of European Union countries. Before that, the Polish president met the Estonian president. The main topic of discussion was security. Both Poland and Estonia have recently been subject to various types of hybrid attacks and provocative actions by the Russian Federation. We have seen violations of airspace in both Estonia and Poland. Tomorrow's meeting will also feature topics related to security. The Areolas summit will bring together the presidents of 11 countries. Estonia is the second Baltic state visited by President Karol Nawrocki after Lithuania. Later this year, the president will also visit Latvia. Polish border guards travel to Georgia, a country engulfed in chaos and saturated with the activities of Russian services. The aim was to transport 10 Georgians and 9 Pakistanis deported from Poland. But this mission did not end well. A group of several border guard officers was attacked in the Georgian capital of Tbilisi. The incident occurred after the completion of a return operation during which 19 foreigners were forcibly returned. As a result of this incident, 2 of our officers were hospitalized with severe, quite serious head injuries. Two Polish officers attacked with metal bars and knives have already undergone surgery at a local hospital. These officers are still under medical care. They have been provided with consular assistance, and our liaison officer is also present on site. How is it possible that officers carrying out an important mission were brutally beaten? The head of the Polish Ministry of Internal Affairs and Administration explains it rather convolutedly. They were attacked by residents of Tbilisi. As far as I know, the local authorities have already apprehended the attackers. They were attacked when they went out on the town after the mission was over. The Georgian capital is not a safe place and is no longer as friendly to Poles as it was years ago. The city is infiltrated by Russian services and provocateurs. The question is whether going out on the town after the mission was necessary and prudent, and whether anyone warned the officers of a possible threat. It is certainly extremely worrying, and it is very unfortunate that our officers were injured. Perhaps there was simply some confusion involving a group of people. I don't know whether they were armed with knives or some kind of heavy objects. The attackers were apprehended during the chase and were well known to the local police, who are now investigating the case. Further arrests are possible. The case is certainly puzzling and raises concerns as to whether it was some kind of operation by the Russian services. The question remains open as to whether they were in uniform or in civilian clothing, so we certainly have a few questions here as to what the situation was, whether they were provoked or whether it was a deliberate attack, even a robbery. It is possible that the attack on Polish officers who came to Georgia as part of the Frontex mission was a coordinated action by the Russian services. Anything is possible in a country that is simply ruled by Russia, because there is no doubt about that. One could say that this is the work of the Georgian or Russian services, or perhaps the mafia, which does not want its people sent back to Georgia, because Georgians can be Georgians, but they can also be Russians with Georgian passports. The most important thing now is the health of the beaten Poles, but at the same time, the matter must be clarified because many important questions remain unanswered.
The first step towards peace in the Middle East has been taken. Israel and Hamas have signed an agreement on the withdrawal of troops and the release of all Israeli hostages held in Gaza, under the auspices of the United States and with the direct involvement of the American president. Both sides have agreed to a ceasefire. Analysts are talking openly about a breakthrough, but warn that this is only the beginning of very difficult talks about the shape of the Middle East and the future of Palestine. For the first time in many years, the sentiments on both sides of the border are very similar. In both the Gaza Strip and Israel, the news of the agreement between Tel Aviv and Hamas was received with great hope. To be honest, these feelings are indescribable. We can't believe it, but thank God, the war is over and we are alive. We sincerely hope that the war will not return and that this will be the real end, without death and destruction. We hope that people will return, rebuild their homes, and life will return to normal. There are many concerns, because this is only the first step. The list of conditions set by both sides is very long, and the ceasefire itself is extremely fragile. We hope that the guarantees will be upheld. We don't want the war to stop temporarily, as it has in the past. We want lasting peace. On the other side of the front line, the sentiment is very similar. In Israel, the main cause for joy was Hamas's approval of the release of all hostages abducted from kibbutzim and military bases on October 7th, 2 years ago.
Very exciting to hear that my brother come home. We pray of him a lot. We're waiting for him. It's a perfect morning. It's a miracle. In Sukkot that all the brothers come home. Am Yisrael Chai and waiting for him to be with them.
The moment when the U.S. president received information about the possible signing of the agreement was captured on camera during a press conference in the Oval Office.
I was just given a note by the Secretary of State saying that we're very close to a deal in the Middle East, and they're going to need me pretty quickly, so I will take a couple of more questions.
A few dozen minutes later, the president announced the agreement on social media. I am very proud to announce that Israel and Hamas have both signed off on the first phase of our peace plan. This means that all of the hostages will be released very soon, and Israel will withdraw their troops to an agreed-upon line as the first steps toward a strong, durable, and everlasting peace. All parties will be treated fairly. This is a great day for the Arab and Muslim world, Israel, all surrounding nations, and the United States of America. The president also personally informed the families of hostages held by Hamas about the ceasefire and the details of their loved ones' release. They had been waiting for this call for many months.
Thank you so much. Blessed be the peacemakers.
God bless you, Mr. President. God bless America.
Thank you very much. You just take care of yourselves. The hostages will come back. They're all coming back on Monday.
According to arrangements confirmed by Hamas, the hostages are to be handed over to Red Cross workers on Monday in Gaza. From there, a convoy will transport them to the Israeli side. At the same time, Israel is withdrawing its troops to the border line agreed upon in the negotiations. Once the first stage of the talks has been completed, further negotiations will take place, mainly concerning the future functioning of Hamas, which according to Israel's demands is to be disarmed and the Gaza Strip itself demilitarized. It is already clear that these conditions will be much more difficult to accept and implement.